Hi everyone, welcome back to Emmy Lou Books. Today I'm going to be talking about some of the books that are on my TBR for 2019, as well as some 2019 releases that I'm really excited for. So the first book that I'm really excited for, and it is going to be a 2019 release, I think it's out now in fact, is The Wicked King by Holly Black. So I have really good memories from reading The Cruel Prince. I read it a long time ago, I think all the way back in the beginning of 2018. And since then, I've started to question how much I enjoyed the book. I think I'm one of those people that's influenced quite a lot by what others have said, and I've been watching other people discuss the book and they've mentioned a lot of things about it that they didn't like. And it's kind of made me think, did I like it as much as I think I did? So I'm looking forward to reading The Wicked King. As I say, it is out now, so I'm going to be going out and getting my copy as soon as possible, and I'm looking forward to reading it and seeing if I do really like the series or if it's not as good as I thought it was. So the second book that comes out in 2019 that is on my TBR and I'm definitely excited for is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Brigade Camarera. I don't think that's how you say it, sorry. I'm not very good at pronouncing authors' names sometimes. So this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling and I'm really looking forward to it. I've heard some mixed reviews about it, but honestly, I always have a lot of respect for authors who write retellings because I think that it can't be an easy thing to do because we're all so familiar with the classic tale anyway. We know the characters, we know the plot more or less, so having to do a retelling I think must be a pretty intimidating task, and I'm looking forward to seeing this because I love retellings and Beauty and the Beast is one of my favourite stories. So next we have The Vanishing Star by Maureen Johnson, and this is the second book in the Truly Devious series. I was actually pretty surprised by how much I enjoyed Truly Devious because it's a murder mystery book, which isn't typically my kind of thing. But I did really enjoy it, so I'm really looking forward to reading The Vanishing Star and seeing what happens next. So another 2019 release that is definitely on my TBR that I'm so excited for, if not a little bit afraid, is Slayer by Kirsten White. So I don't know if I've mentioned this on my channel before, but I am a absolutely massive Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan. It's been a part of my life for a really long time. The show really means a lot to me. I have read some of the comics, but I haven't ever read a book about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And this book, even though it is about the Slayer universe, it doesn't have Buffy and Willow and Xander and all the characters that we know and love. It's a completely different set of characters, so I'm really curious to see what they do with it. I'm not sure if Joss Whedon was involved in it or not, but if he was, then I know it will be amazing. But even if he wasn't, I'm still going to pick this up because I'm really curious to see what they do with it, and hopefully it will be a good read. So another book that comes out in 2019 and is definitely on my TBR is On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. I believe this comes out in February of 2019 and I'm really excited to read it. The Hate U Give was absolutely amazing. It was a very intense read but incredibly thought-provoking, and it brought up a lot of issues about racism and police brutality. And I absolutely loved it. I really enjoyed the movie too, and I'm really excited to see what Angie Thomas does next. I don't know much about On the Come Up apart from it follows a young girl called Brie who wants to be a rapper, and that's really all I know about it. So hopefully it will be as good as The Hate U Give. Comes out in February, as I said, so I'm going to be going out and getting my copy as soon as it comes out. Next, in March, we have Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tommy Adeyemi, and this is going to be the second book in the Children of Blood and Bone series. As you all know, in 2018, Children of Blood and Bone, it was all anybody could talk about. It had a lot of hype, and kind of a similar situation with The Cruel Prince, where I remember at the time reading it and thinking that it was really amazing, but the more I think about it, I start to question whether or not I really liked the book as much as I thought I did. So I'm really excited to see what they do with the characters and what happens next and how the plot develops. There isn't a front cover for this book as of yet, not that I can find anyway. The front cover for Children of Blood and Bone was absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. So I'm hoping that they can do another front cover that's just as beautiful for the second book. But yeah, I can't wait to see what happens next. That comes out in March. So as soon as it's out, I'm going to be going out and grabbing my copy. So another new release for 2019 that will 100% be on my TBR is Aru Shah and the Song of Death by Roshana Chokshi. Yes, finally did it. I know that you guys don't know, but I had to film that about 1,000 times because I can never say her name properly. I don't know what it is about me and authors' names, but I really struggle sometimes. But anyway, I said it. Yay. So Aru Shah and the Song of Death is the second book after Aru Shah and the End of Time. And this was a really pleasant surprise for me. It's a middle grade book, but I was quite sort of taken aback by how deep it was and by how much it made me think. I definitely learned a lot about Indian mythology and culture that I didn't know before. I absolutely loved the book. It was really hilarious, and I can't wait to see what the author does next. Another book that comes out in May that I'm really excited about is Sorcery of Thorns. I don't know much about this book, only that it is about sorcery and magic. This book has been on my radar for a really, really long time because the front cover is absolutely stunning and beautiful. I haven't heard much about this book yet because it hasn't been released yet, obviously, but I'm really, really excited to read it finally because something about this book just tells me that I'm gonna really, really love it. And then in August, we have Of Ice and Shadows by Audrey Colbert. This is the second book after Of Fire and Stars. This was a book that I read recently that I absolutely loved. I wasn't really knowing what to expect because I did hear some really good things about it, but I did also hear some quite negative reviews. So I was quite nervous going in, but I absolutely loved it. Fire and Stars did leave on quite an intense cliffhanger, so I'm really excited to see what happens next. This book comes out in August, so we have quite a long time to wait, but as soon as it comes out, I'm going to go out and get it, or I might ask for it for my birthday. It's definitely going to be a book that I will 100% read in 2019. Also in August, we have Sea Witch Rising by Sarah Henning. This doesn't have a front cover yet. I have just finished listening to Sea Witch on audiobook, and I'm going to be doing a review for that in a couple of days. Really, really enjoyed Sea Witch. It's another retelling, which I do love retellings, but as I said earlier, I have a lot of respect for authors who do retellings because I don't think that they're easy to do at all. I think that it's quite a brave thing to do. Sea Witch was quite complicated and complex, which I wasn't really expecting, but I did really, really like it, especially the last 200 pages were really, really amazing. So I can't wait to see what happens next in Sea Witch Rising. So those are all the books that I don't have yet, that haven't yet been released, and these are the books that I do have that are on my TBR that I just haven't read yet. First up is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I can't tell you how excited I am to read this book. I've heard so many amazing things about it. I know a little bit about what happens in the book and the basic plot summary, but I kind of want to go in blind and be pleasantly surprised. But this is going to be the next book that I start after the one that I'm currently reading, and I'm so excited to start it and see if it's as amazing as everyone says it is. The next book that is on my TBR for 2019 is a book that's been on my shelf for a really, really long time, and that is A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. So I already know quite a lot about the series because I've been reading a lot about the books and watching videos. If what I can remember is right, this is a magical world in which there are 4 different Londons: Black London, Red London, Grey London and White London. That's kind of all I know about it and all I want to know at this stage. It is a pretty big book, so I'm a little bit intimidated by it, but I've heard some really amazing things about the series and I just really want to get going with it and just get this first one out the way so I can read the second and third one. I've heard the third one is the best one, so I just really need to get going with these series. So this is definitely going to be a book that I will 100% be reading in 2019. The next book that is on my TBR is a book that I received for Christmas, so it hasn't been on my shelf for that long, but that is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. And I don't know much about this book. I know that it's kind of a sci-fi fantasy based book, and I'm really excited to read it because I've heard some amazing things about Brandon Sanderson. There are a lot of other books by Brandon Sanderson that I want to try if I enjoy this. So I'm really excited to just start reading his work and see if I enjoy it. Hopefully I will, and if I do, then there are a lot of other Brandon Sanderson books that I can read. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this and see what it's all about. Last but not least, we have Dry by Neil Schutzman. I got this for Christmas as well, and after Strange the Dreamer, this is going to be my next book, or I might try and read them at the same time. This is a book that's set in a dystopian world, in a world where water has completely run out and there is a drought. I don't know much about the book, but other than what I just mentioned, but Neil Schutzman has this really amazing, unique ability for writing really thought-provoking, unique and interesting stories. So I cannot wait to read this. Another book by Neil Schutzman that I really want to read in 2019 is Challenger Deep. I've heard some really amazing things about this book, and the plot sounds really unique and interesting and different. So hopefully I'll be able to read that one too. So that concludes today's video. I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you did like today's video, please do hit the thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And please let me know what books are going to be on your TBR for 2019 and what releases you're excited for. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon for another video.